Hey, in this video we are going to discuss the age of Chaucer, and this is actually a very rapid section where we are discussing each and every important points of the age of Chaucer that all you need to know about this period. So this period is actually from 1350 to 1400, and some key historical incidents of this period includes the decline of feudalism, the growth of the English national spirit, the prominence of the House of Commons, and the rise of working class people. And we can see the development of Midland dialect during this period, and 5 important writers we can see in this period. Obviously, one is Chaucer, and we have William Langland, John Wycliffe, John Mandeville, and Gower. So we are discussing about all these 5 key figures. So let's start from Chaucer. For your better understanding, we can divide Chaucer's period into 3. We know that Chaucer was influenced by the French writing in his early period. Later, his interests moved to Italian writers or Italian works, and at the very end period, we can see how he was nurtured by the English spirit, and at this 3rd period, he wrote his masterpiece, that is the Canterbury Tales. So at the first period, the French influences period, he wrote 2 important works. One is Roman of the Rose and other one is Walk of the Duchess. Roman of the Rose is actually an allegorical representation where this rose is associated with lady beauty, and all the feelings such as love, hate, envy, jealousy, idleness, sweet looks, all these feelings were allegorically represented in this period. So it's all about an allegorical poem. The second one, Walk of the Duchess, Chaucer wrote after the death of Blanche. She is the wife of Chaucer's patron, John of Gaunt. So Walk of the Duchess is more like an emotional poem in the death of or remembering Blanche. So 2 important works during his French period are Roman of the Rose and Walk of the Duchess. So let's look at second period, that is his Italian period, where we have the chief work, that is Troilus and Cressida. Troilus and Cressida, it is actually a poem of 8,000 lines. We know that Shakespeare also makes use of Troilus and Cressida, but Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida, the immediate source is from Boccaccio's Second Philostracto. As it is already the Italian period, or we know that Boccaccio, Dante, Petrarch were very famous during this period. So Boccaccio's Second Philostrata is the immediate source of Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida. Also in this period we have House of Fame is one of Chaucer's unfinished poems, and the second important work of this period other than Troilus and Cressida is Legend of Good Women. So Legend of Good Women, it is written by receiving a vision. Why the poet was sleeping in the field of daisies, where he met Alcestis. Alcestis is a goddess of all the wifely virtues. So Alcestis asked Chaucer to compose a poem which has all the wifely virtues and values and way of woman for leading a good life. So thus Chaucer wrote the Legend of Good Women, and he in total he wrote 9 legends, and at the middle of the 9th legend he abandoned the work. So 2 important works of Italian period are Troilus and Cressida and Legend of Good Women. Also we have one unfinished poem, that is House of Fame. Then the 3rd period, that Chaucer's masterpiece the Canterbury Tales was written, and how the Canterbury Tales worked, or the plan is, there were a group of pilgrims around 32. They were going to visit the shrine of Thomas Becket in the Canterbury. So in Canterbury, they are in their pilgrim way. So this pilgrimage, they want to stay at inn for some rest or for gathering people for going to the pilgrimage. So they are in the Tabard Inn of Southwark. Here our Chaucer also joined them, and he suggests them for making the journey more lively. Each of the company can tell 4 tales, 2 while going towards the pilgrimage and 2 while coming back. And we can tell, or they can tell the stories or tales from whatever subjects shall suit him or her the best. And what will the best storyteller receive is supper. So all these 32 pilgrims were supposed to tell 4 stories each. So we will get around 128 tales, but here Chaucer only wrote 24, and some of these are incomplete too. So the first story from this Canterbury Tales collection is the story which is said by the knight. Palamon and Archite is the name. This story is actually about 2 soldiers who were wounded in the battlefield and later taken to Athens. And in Athens, they met a fair lady named Emily, and both of them were in love with Emily. And later, the love, chivalry, all such manly features were discussing in the poem. So the first poem in this Canterbury Tales collection is The Knight's Tale, and the last one is Parson's Tale. In between we have a lot of tales including Miller's Tale, Wife of Bath's Tale, Sir Thopas' Tale. So what makes the work more significant is it has the collection of the stories from the people from all different social classes, whether they are from working class, aristocrats or ecclesiastical or knights or whatever. We can see people from different backgrounds and their tales. So it makes the work more important. And this Canterbury Tales also have a prologue too. And next important thing we are discussing in this video is we know that all these 3 time period, the French, Italian and English period, Chaucer has his own principal meters. For example, in the French period, we know that he wrote 2 works. What were those works? Oh yes, Book of the Duchess and Roman de the Rose. And in Book of the Duchess, he used the meter which is in the 8-syllable line with 4 accents and the lines rhyming in couplets. So French period, it has 8 syllables with 4 accents and the lines rhyming in couplets. In its Italian period, we know that, for example, Troilus and Cresside, the musical measure is in a way 10 syllables and 5 accents each, and the lines are arranged in 7-line stanzas but with a different rhyme called rhyme royal. And in his English period, that is in Canterbury Tales, he used lines of 10 syllables and 5 accents similar to Troilus and Cresside, but each lines run in couplets. So that is the poem of Chaucer's poetry. So that's all about Chaucer. Then let's have a look at William Langland. William Langland's famous work is Piers Plowman, and it is first appeared in 1362 as a poem of 1800 lines. Later it moved from different hands, so transferred from different hands, and for the final form is about 15,000 lines. So this poem is actually an allegory of life, and 2 distinct visions we can see in this poem. The first vision is the vision of Piers, where we can see a lot of people in a field. They were asking Piers, or they were discussing the Piers about the inequality in the society and how working class people are suffering hard or working hard, but they are not receiving much more things when compared to what they deserve. And the second vision is the vision of 7 deadly sins. Here the 7 deadly sins are in an allegorical way. They are asking Piers about the way of truth, and Piers is telling the way of truth is through honest labor, like honest work. So the 2 great principles this poem is giving, one is everyone is equal in front of God. Second is the dignity of honest labor. So that's about William Langland and Piers Plowman. And about John Wycliffe now. John Wycliffe translated the Gospels and much more of the New Testaments, and the rest was finished by his followers, especially by Nicholas. And one other great important figure related to John Wycliffe is John Purvey. He is also a disciple of Wycliffe. He revised the entire work or entire Gospel and New Testament in 1388. So that's all about John Wycliffe. And John Mandeville now. About the year of 1356, Mandeville's work, that is Voyage and Travail of Sir John Mandeville, appeared. He is actually alleged travel. We are not sure about whether he travelled or whether this thing is real. But yeah, this book came during 1356, name is Voyage and Travail of Sir John Mandeville, and it is written in Midland dialect, as majority of the works of this period is written. And it discusses a wide travel during John Mandeville's 30 years, and it discusses what are the things he's met there, or what are the things, or what are the new cultures he explored in the new places. So it in a way suggests the affinity of English people towards travel of that time. Then we have Gower. He wrote in 3 languages like French, Latin, and English. And his chief English work is Confessio Amandus. Confessio Amandus is actually a long poem containing 112 tales. So now we discuss about Chaucer, William Langland, Wycliffe, Mandeville, and Gower. These are the key figures and key important points that you need to remember regarding the age of Chaucer. Thank you.